following event is a professional wrestling exhibition performed by professionally trained athletes. Do not try this at home.
Mania grows even shorter, with this being the final stop. Good morning, wrestling fans, and welcome to another episode of UPW Uprising. I'm your host, Jesse Weaver. Today's episode is all about our event that is taking place tonight at the Max in Iron Mountain, Michigan. It is UPW MAXXimum Carnage. For those of you that are enjoying the Easter egg hunt right now, I hope you guys are having fun, and I hope your kid finds the golden egg. But besides that point, we're going to go to break here soon, and when we come back, I'm going to be joined by a couple very special guests as we break down our matches for MAXXimum Carnage and give our take on it. So with no further ado, don't let me interrupt you having a good time. Here's our announcements.
We're going to wrap the ring in barbed wire as Judge Jesse finally takes on Peter Be Beautiful. And there will be a Fans Bring the Thumbtacks tag team match. Don't miss it.
Welcome back, Uprisers. And with no further ado, we're going to kick things off right away with our MAXXimum Carnage pre-show. As promised, I did not come alone this morning. I'm joined by not one, but two very special guests. My first guest is UPW Hall of Famer, Vito Von Guido. He was with me the last time.
Good to see you, brother.
Good to see you too, brother. And now we are going to bring a new face to UPW. It is none other than Mr. Business, Draven Stryker. Hello, Mr. Stryker. Good to see you.
What's up, Draven?
How you doing?
How's it going? Glad to have you here at UPW.
Going great, and I'm glad to be here. And if there's anything you don't know about Mr. Business, Draven Stryker, he goes where the business is, and right now the business is getting hot right here in UPW.
That is right. So with no further ado, folks, we're going to kick off right away to our first matchup we're going to break down. For those of you that watched last week's episode, Corey Kerr came out strong and accepted Jason's challenge for the American Championship. And that's the match we're going to talk about right now. Corey Kerr, the Direwolf, against the leader of the syndicate, Jason, for the UPW American Championship. Guys, I'll let you guys kick it off. Actually, let's kick it off with Vito. What's your thoughts on this matchup?
Well, the Direwolf, Corey Kerr, is a big dude. He's well over 6 foot. He's a close to 300-pounder, and he's powerful, and you saw how motivated he is. But like we talked about last time there, Jess, you never go against the syndicate because they come in numbers, and the leader of the syndicate is Sin, and I never go against Sin. So I'm going with the syndicate, going with Jason.
All right. Mr. Stryker, would you like to give your 2 cents in?
I think the leader of the syndicate's got to run for his money, regardless of the numbers he has. The Wolf isn't an idiot. I'm sure he's got a plan up his sleeve because, you got to cut the head off when you can.
That is true. That is true.
It's a big head.
Corey Kerr did mention that he was very well aware that Jason was not going to come alone. So maybe he might have something up his sleeve. He was very mad about getting food taken off of his table, and he is aiming to take food off of Jason's table. But I have to be in agreement, and I know how much fight there is in the dog, but if there's too many dogs in the fight with only one solo dog, what can you do? So my pick is also going to be Jason retaining the UPW American Championship. All right, well, let's kick it off into our next matchup we're going to talk about, which is a very big, spectacular matchup. It is a Fans Bring Thumbtacks tag team match. And that match is going to be the Dev and Tommy Trainwreck syndicate members against Dysfunction and Redacted. let's switch it up this time. And Mr. Stryker, let's hear your words on this.
Well, I know a little bit about the Dev and Tommy Trainwreck. I don't know much about Redacted, but I do know Dysfunction. I'm telling you, my prediction, as big as the Syndicate has been lately, I think they're going to have an off night tonight, especially with Dysfunction in the house.
All right. So you're taking Redacted and Dysfunction over the Syndicate. All right, Mr. Von Guido, what do you say?
Yeah, it's tough to disagree with Mr. Stryker on this one. All 4 of them are used to hardcore matches. All 4 of them have used thumbtacks and had thumbtacks used against them. Yeah, Dis has been in the business longer than everyone else. Redacted loves to bleed. I think they're going to bring it to the Syndicate, and I'm going to go with Dysfunction and Redacted in what will be a bloody mess in that ring in Iron Mountain.
No doubt.
No doubt about that. It is going to be a bloody mess. My pick, I am going to have to go with the Syndicate again. The numbers game,
At least you're consistent.
They're consistent with how they've been doing what they've been doing, and they've been getting away with all this stuff for long enough. I pray they don't win, but I'm gonna have to go with my gut and go with the Syndicate on this one. And please, UPW fans, don't hate me. I do not like the Syndicate. I just gotta call it how I see it.
It's okay when you're wrong, Jesse. It's okay.
I've been wrong before. That's why I gotta wear this jacket. So, all right. Which, nice pull on that one, Mr. Ness. But I said less obnoxious. Whatever.
That's a tough one for Ness.
Yes, I do agree with that. Okay, let's roll right into our next matchup. It's going to be another bloodbath, and one that these UPW fans have been waiting to see. Finally, Peter B. Beautiful, the Queen of Hardcore, gets his hands on the honorable one, Judge Jesse, in a barbed wire rope death match. I'll kick this one off, guys, if you don't mind. My personal take, I see the Queen of Hardcore reigning supreme in this matchup as he finally does away with what's been the thorn in his side as Judge Jesse. So I'll let you guys take it. My pick is Peter B. Beautiful. And Mr. Stryker, let's see what you guys say.
I know a lot about Peter B. and Judge Jesse there, or as fans like to call him, Judge Judy. Now, this is a match that's definitely in Peter B.'s wheelhouse. However, you can never turn against the judge because, like, that guy is sneaky. He's slippery. You're going with the Syndicate earlier. I've known Judge Jesse a very, very long time. I'm going to have to go with the dark horse. I think Jesse's going to pull off a win somehow.
That's very true, and also he is connected with the Shane Dynasty, so that also throws that factor in there too. Okay.
Well protected.
Well protected is the right thing to say. Vito, what is your take?
Well, here's my opinion. Both guys hate each other. They're out to get each other. It's awesome that it's in a barbed wire rope match, so no one can run and hide. And I think there's going to be bloodshed here as well. Neither of these guys would piss on the other one if they were on fire. So I think they're just going to take each other down, and it's a toss-up for me. I guess I'll go with Peter B. This is his forte, not that of the judge.
That's right, this is his forte, this is his stomping grounds. One thing is for sure, we know the true winner of that match is going to be the UPW fans. With no further ado, folks, we're going to cut to break right now. When we come back, we'll continue breaking down our matches for MAXXimum Carnage.
Marquette Mania returns. The largest sport entertainment spectacular in the Upper Peninsula. May 4th at Lakeview Arena. UPW Pro Wrestling presents Marquette Mania 2 with special guests including the legendary Mouth of the South, Jimmy Hart, plus former WWF Tag Team Champions, the Headbangers. Go to the UPW website and Facebook for the full lineup. Tickets on sale at NMU Ticket Outlet. Part of the proceeds go to benefit Bay Cliff Healthcare. Marquette Mania 2, sponsored in part by TV6 and Fox UP.
Welcome back, Uprisers. We are going to continue breaking down our matches for MAXXimum Carnage. We're going to start off with the UPW Women's Championship with Jackie B being the champion versus Hannah versus Shelly Benson. Vito, you want to take this one?
Yeah, three-way. So it's always different than mano a mano or womano a womano. Is that how that works?
I think
Something like that.
Something.
You know, Jackie's champion. She won the belt last time against Hannah at Escanaba. It was a bruiser. They both went at each other tooth and nail. Shelly Benson gets added in here. She's a newcomer to us. So it'll be interesting to see what she brings to the match. It's another one of those syndicate matches. So will they come out and support Jackie? Remains to be seen. Will Kerr come out and support Hannah? Remains to be seen. I'm actually going with the wild card here, and I'm going to go with Shelly Benson. She's new, she's talented, she's experienced. I'm going with the wild card.
All right. So Vito's take is Shelly Benson walks away with the UPW Women's Championship. Mr. Business, what do you got to say?
You know, I might have to go with the syndicate on this one. You know, this is a different match. This is triple threat. Anybody that doesn't know what that means no rules. That means they definitely have the advantage.
Correct.
Now, while these other two women are very, very hungry, I mean, we're talking numbers game. I like to think they're going to protect the princess more than they would anybody else in the syndicate. So I'm kind of going to go with the champ on this one.
All right, Mr. Business picks Jackie B, and it pains me to say I'm going to have to pick Jackie B as well.
I've never heard her called a princess, however.
No, she's been called a hussy and a Jezebel and some other things that we can't really say right now, but you get the drift, right? So my take is I agree with Mr. Business. Granted, Shelly Benson's new and hungry and a fighter. Hannah is mad. Maybe Kerr gets involved with this one, but they're going to protect their investment, and I'm going with Jackie B and the syndicate on this matchup.
Very physical matchup, though.
Yes, it's
Very
going
physical.
to be a very physical
I don't
fight.
like when women are fighting.
Yes. Okay, so let's roll right into the next one. It's going to be UPW Commissioner Romeo Valentino battling the former UPW Commissioner Steve White, Steve White's also a part of the syndicate. Everybody's been waiting for this to happen, and it's going to be such a joyous event for everybody here in UPW. Folks, do not miss it. Tonight, Iron Mountain, Michigan at the Max. We're going to see Romeo Valentino get his hands on Steve White. Mr. Business, let's hear your insight on this one.
You know, Mr. Valentino, a very well-decorated man in this industry, going up against a sleazy, slimy, scummy, pathetic bastard, Steve White.
What do you really think?
And I gotta go with Steve White. Steve White, he's gonna take out that old fossil, no offense. I mean, come on, it's Steve White and the syndicate, and like, he's kind of the go-to guy, right?
Yeah, you do know that he is his tag team partner, right? Like,
I do, but I feel safe because, you know, I signed a specific contract that says I can't be touched.
okay, well, I'm standing in between you two, and he's
You're
way
the one
taller
protecting
than me, and
And we'll wait till the camera's off.
good point. Okay, so Mr. Business is going with Steve White on that one in the numbers game. Vito, this is your tag team partner, your road brother.
Do I have to say anything?
Do we even have to say? I think we know what's going to be said.
Romeo and Vito, Il Familia. I've traveled the roads with Romeo for 20 years. This guy is as Italian, as rough and tumble as it gets. You know, lawyers, guns, and money. He knows what he has to bring to the ring. And he's going to take Steve White from pillar to post. He is going to destroy him, and we're going to solidify who the real commissioner is. And maybe White will do a little Bobby Heenan tail between his legs and run off like the weasel like he is.
All right. I'm going to have to second that, and I am going with Romeo Valentino with the win easily over Steve White, getting what he so truly deserves and what we all truly deserve to see. So, with no further ado, bye, Steve. And we're going to kick right on to our next matchup, which is he kind of asked for this a while back. We're going to go to Congo Kong versus Melvin Hayes. Melvin had lost the American Championship, lost Jackie B, and kind of put his foot in his mouth, but yet he hasn't. He's been on a roll with some of the victories that he's had. But now he has this monster across the ring from him in Congo. I am going to make my pick right now, and I'm going to say I think Melvin's going to win this one. I just have this, call it gut feeling. Yeah, he's a monster, but I think somewhere down the line, the nerd rage is going to kick up, and by some upset, we're going to see Melvin overcome the monster. So that's my pick, Melvin Hayes over Congo Kong. What's your take?
You know, I've actually been in the ring with the monster himself and actually got flattened by him before. He is not one to mess with. Now, I've also been across the ring from Melvin Hayes, and I'm actually really impressed with his talent. And weirdly enough, I'm gonna have to agree with him. Somehow he's gonna get some weird kind of a nerd boner, and you know, he's gonna end up overcoming. Can we say boner?
Well, you could say nerd boners here, Sid.
Well, we said it 3 times, so we'll see.
So I don't know what the two of you guys are smoking, taking Melvin Hayes, but seriously, I love Melvin. He's a good cat. I enjoy him in the ring. He is over his head here. Congo Kong, 6'8", 400 pounds plus. The man can move in the ring like a lightweight and work like a heavyweight. I'm sorry, Melvin, but good thing we're in Iron Mountain, because you're going to be close to your mother's basement, because that's where you're going to be running to. Just good luck to you, brother.
All right, well, we got our picks there. We've got Melvin Hayes. He's got the monster. We've made a few other predictions. We are going to take a little break, and when we come back, we're going to break down our final set of matches for MAXXimum Carnage.
So you can take care of your nerd boner while we're on break.
Yeah, and nerd boner.
Marquette Mania returns. The largest sport entertainment spectacular in the Upper Peninsula. May 4th at Lakeview Arena. UPW Pro Wrestling presents Marquette Mania 2 with special guests including Shark Boy from Total Nonstop Action, plus LAX, Latin American Exchange Tag Team from Total Nonstop Action Impact Wrestling. Tickets on sale at NMU Tickets Outlet. Part of the proceeds go to benefit Bay Cliff Health Camp. Marquette Mania 2, May 4th at Lakeview Arena. Sponsored in part by TV6 and Fox UP.
Welcome back to Uprising, folks. We're here breaking down our final set of matches for MAXXimum Carnage. But before we get into the matches, I'd like to say thank you to everybody that's watching from where you're watching. We've gained followers, we've gained more subscribers, more view time. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you so much, Uprisers. So with no further ado, we're going to get into what I am going to deem the Battle of the Behemoths. And it's UPW's monster, Samson, versus old school Rick Cartier. I'm going to let Vito start this one out. What's your take on this?
So looking forward to this match. These are two large men who can move in the ring. Samson, 6'5", 320. And then you got Haas on the other side, Rick Cartier, who's a big monster himself, low center of gravity. No one can take him off his feet. But these two guys are going to go at it. They say box a brawler and brawl a boxer. Well, these two guys are just going to be brawling. And you're going to see fists and kicks, punches, eye gouges. This is what you come to the ring for. This is what you come to the card for, come to the Max for. So if I could recommend, if you don't have tickets and you're in earshot of this video, you should be getting your tickets and getting to the Max tonight, because this is going to be worth the price of admission. Samson all the way.
All right, Vito picks Samson, and he's right. For those of you that want tickets, upwshop.com is where you can find them, as well as the Max itself. So, Mr. Business, what's your take on this matchup?
Vito, I hope you guys are going to reinforce the ring, because these are two big boys. This is going to be one battle for the ages. And while Samson is a really big monster, I'm going to have to go old school here tonight, because of the same reason as I picked Judge Jesse earlier, that insurance policy. They got each other's backs. They're going to be a factor in each other's matches. I got to go old school.
All right, so Mr. Business is going with old school Rick Cartier. I'm going to agree with Vito, and I'm going with the monster, Samson. Yes, Judge Jesse may pay a part in this matchup, but if he goes on before Samson and Old School Rick Cartier go on, he might not be able to get involved in that matchup. Other than that, I would also like to remind everybody that Samson has been on a big roll here in UPW. He has been tearing through his opponents. I don't see any stop in the near future. I see nothing but great things for Samson. And Vito, you're right. This is going to be a pillar to post brawl. I don't see it being, it's going to be maybe a bloodbath, but it's not going to be weapons involved. It's going to be straight bone and sinew crashing together. This is going to be one, folks. You're not going to want to miss this one. So, but my pick, I'm going with the monster, Samson. All right, folks, we're going to get into the next matchup. It's a tag team match. Ghetto Gear Solid versus some unlikely bedfellows in BBC and BJ Allen. BBC Gio Bronco and BJ Allen have never teamed before, so this is going to be a different team. Mr. Business, let's get your take. Who do you think is going to win?
Well, I don't know much about BBC, but I do know BJ Allen, an up-and-comer of this business. I know he's a hungry kid looking to get that next big break. But then there's men from Milwaukee, Ghetto Gear Solid, a very decorated tag team, especially here in UPW, but all over the place. They've held titles from pretty much any promotion that they've been in. And sometimes you can get two people together that have never worked together before, and they can make magic. But then when you're trying to do that against a team like Ghetto Gear Solid, I don't think the odds are really in their favor. I gotta go with the boys from Milwaukee.
All right, Mr. Business is taking Ghetto Gear Solid. Vito, who's your take on this?
I think this is the first for today. I'm going to agree with Stryker. I'm going to go with Ghetto Gear Solid. The guys from Milwaukee have been together for a long time, held the UPW tag titles, countless matches, over a year. I know they have championships and other promotions. These guys are a solid team. Love Killer Kaz. Love Rough Rider Rashawn. Say that 3 times fast. These guys are awesome. You know, it's interesting that you said bedfellows when you're talking about BJ and BBC. But yeah, first time teaming. I know that BBC loves BJ, BJ loves BBC. So maybe they'll be distracted in this match also, and that'll give an advantage to Ghetto Gear Solid. Can't see anyone beating Ghetto Gear Solid in the near future.
I am going to have to agree. So we all three agree across the board. The boys from Milwaukee, Ghetto Gear Solid. They're a decorated tag team. They know each other. That's going to give them the upper hand right off the bat. We have BJ Allen and BBC Gio Bronco. They are great singles competitors alone by themselves, but we've never seen them team before, so we can't predict if lightning's going to strike or if everything's just going to fall apart. So we all three agree. The boys from Milwaukee, Ghetto Gear Solid, are going to come over. BJ Allen and BBC.
And maybe we should throw it to the fans and come up with a name for BJ Allen and BBC.
That's a very good. That's a very good idea, folks. Folks, you uprisers out there, if you're watching right now, send in to upwuprising.com, upwshop.com. Try to hit us up on Facebook and TikTok, and you give us your ideas for a tag team name for BBC Gio Bronco and BJ Allen. That's a great idea, folks. Can't wait to see what you guys come up with. All right, we're gonna roll right into our next match, and it is for the UPW Championship. Joey Jet Avalon puts his title on the line against Michael Jerick. Vito, I'm gonna let you kick this one off. Who do you think is gonna come out when the smoke settles?
I've known both men for a long time. In particular, Michael Jerick, Smash. Strong dude, very experienced, knows his way in and around the ring. But if you've been watching Joey Avalon, those Silas Young matches, the match with Tommy Trainwreck, that dude is just on a tear. And I don't see it stopping. I see him going through Jerick. Jerick will make sure he knows he's been in the ring with him. But I'm seeing Avalon getting the dude.
All right. Joey Jet Avalon, Vito's pick, Mr. Business. Who's your pick?
You know, Michael Jerick is a fierce competitor. Definitely decorated in business, been around a long time. Just like Joey Avalon. Joey Avalon, the new champion, having this target on his back, and Jerick being really hungry. I don't know, this is going to be definitely a tough one to beat. I mean, there's a lot of matches that are happening tonight that are going to be tough to beat. I think this is going to be the match of the night, though. This is my match of the night, and it's going to be a brutal slugfest. But I got to go with the champ, Joey Avalon, with the upset tonight.
All right.
Is that actually an upset when the champ wins?
I mean, it might
I guess
upset.
we're going against Michael Jerick, yeah.
Yeah, it might.
All right, going off of your guys' picks, it looks like we're going to all three agree again. Only because of just the streak and the fire that Joey Jet has behind him. That's a train that I don't see stopping anytime soon either.
I mean, that's ironic that you mentioned Train, since he derailed the train wreck
Right,
to
he
get that
derailed
championship.
Tommy Trainwreck to become the champion.
Good point.
And I don't see that fire stopping. There's no putting that fire out anytime soon. No discredit to Michael Jerick at all. I've seen him in the ring also, and
You can definitely
this is
it's going to match.
it seems like every match that Joey Jet Avalon has been a part of has been candidate for match of the year. Let's see what these guys can do. But we all three agree again. We see the champ retaining Joey Jet Avalon over Michael Jerick tonight at MAXXimum Carnage. That's our pick. All right, folks, we're going to take it to another commercial break. And when we get back, we're going to do a little recap. But for the time being, stay right there, folks. We'll be right back.
Marquette Mania returns. The largest sport entertainment spectacular in the Upper Peninsula. May 4th at Lakeview Arena. UPW Pro Wrestling presents Marquette Mania 2. With special guests including Gangrel from WWF and All Elite Wrestling. Plus former WWE and Total Nonstop Action Wrestling, Mr. Anderson. Tickets on sale at NMU Tickets Outlet. Part of the proceeds go to benefit Bay Cliff Health Camp. Marquette Mania 2, May 4th at Lakeview Arena. Sponsored in part by TV6 and Fox UP.
Welcome back, folks. Thank you so much for letting us come into your living rooms this morning and giving us our breakdown for MAXXimum Carnage. Vito, it's been a pleasure breaking down the matches with
Thank you, Jesse.
as always.
You betcha.
And Mr. Stryker, thank you for coming along. And folks, get used to that face because he is now going to be the co-host with me on Uprising, as well as doing the commentary. So catch us on the next Uprising. But with no further ado, we've given our takes on the matches tonight here at the Max. And folks, tickets are still available, upwshop.com. You can get your family 4-pack, buy 3, get 1 free. Also, you can get that at the door at the Max. Do not miss tonight's event, folks. It's going to be one to see. So let's give a little breakdown. We've agreed on a few matches. There's been some matches that we have disagreed on. We can go back and forth if you guys like. We all agreed on Ghetto Gear Solid. We agreed on, let's see, it was Ghetto Gear Solid, it was Samson that we all agreed on, right?
I think we
No, you
I
made
think it's
those.
old school, yeah.
You went old school.
There's some
Okay.
disagreeing there.
For those of you keeping tabs at home, you can chime in and let us know where we're going wrong here.
How about we just mention the matches we want to see?
Okay, that's fair enough, yeah.
Because
Okay.
I want to see Samson and Carnage. I want to see those two dudes just hit each other in the mush until they get tired. And it's going to be a blast. Looking forward to that.
That's a good pick, that's a good pick.
I'm really looking forward to the main event, Michael Jerick versus the champion, Joey Jet Avalon. We're going to see how hungry Jerick really is for this championship that he's kind of been, I don't know, complaining about. And I still think Avalon is coming out on top.
Right, okay, all right, those are some good picks. Me, myself, I would be lying if I didn't say I'm really looking forward to the Peter Be Beautiful, Judge Jesse barbed wire rope death match. That is going to be a spectacle in itself. So that's my pick for tonight, but there are so many other great matches that are happening tonight, folks. We appreciate you guys letting us come into your homes. I'm Jesse Weaver, Vito Von Guido, Mr. Business Drake and Stryker. This is Uprising for MAXXimum Carnage. Sayonara, folks. Peace out.